Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey,
Jim
what's up,
Flanagan
everybody?
here,
Jim Flanagan
aka
here,
Mr.
aka
Hollywood,
Mr.
and it's
Hollywood.
Friday, early
Friday,
Friday here,
early Friday,
12:30 here
12:30
a.m. on
here
the East
a.m. on
Coast.
the Coast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the
Ladies and
debut
gentlemen,
edition.
welcome
We
to the
got the
debut edition.
audio
We got the audio
podcast here for you guys
podcast here
of
for you
239
guys of
Hockey, and
hockey.
alongside with me, the
Alongside with
man,
me,
X Daily.
X
Welcome to the
Daily.
show. How
Welcome
you
to
doing there,
the
Matt?
show. How you doing?
Good man, good. I'm happy to be here. I missed the throwdown unfortunately tonight due to some work requirements, but happy to get the Elita show up on Friday. I don't think we've seen the Elita show in probably 4 or 5 years, maybe. So
Oh man.
it's
Oh man.
so it's nice to see it up and running. So yeah, no, it's good. I look forward to kind of giving my analysis heading into the draft. So I'm excited to be here.
And it's not Friday night, but
It's
it's
not Friday
early
night, but it's
Friday. But
early
maybe when I
Friday.
get this
But
uploaded, it'll
maybe
be
when I get this
sometime later
uploaded,
on.
it'll be
So definitely check that
definitely
out. If you guys
check
didn't
that
see
out. If
Thursday
you guys didn't see
Throwdown, you guys
Thursday
could download
Throwdown,
that
you
as
guys
well over there on YouTube.
on over there.
Giant 918 always
Giant 918
doing a fantastic job, man. It was a
fantastic
great
job.
show.
It
We
was a
covered
great
a
show.
lot, and
Covered a lot.
but right now I got the
But right
expert
now, I got the
analysis here
expert
with me,
analysis
X
here.
Daily, and you
X
can't you
Daily,
can't
and
go into a
you
draft
can't go into
daily
a draft
without getting
daily
your opinion on
without
here.
getting
You
your
know a lot of these guys. You
know a
did a
lot of
great
these
job
guys.
season two, and I hope these
Two,
captains
and I
are
hope these
listening on
captains
here on the show,
on
man.
here show, man.
Well, the last season was kind of crazy, the way it worked out. There's some really good teams, but yeah, again, I had a certain advantage last year. I knew a lot of the incoming guys. I knew a lot of the veterans, so that season was really pegged for me. A lot of new faces this year, which is always great. Even last year you had guys like Shorty for Days, Cosmic Fade, Cody really came into his element last year, so it's always really exciting to see stuff like that. Just because, again, I was a player like that once, coming into a new league, nobody knows you, and then you make an impact. So, those guys that I said, some of them aren't in the draft. I know Cody, I believe, is. So again, you got some guys now who maybe last year were third, fourth round picks. Maybe this year they're second, third round picks. The draft is deep. We've got some returning names I know you're excited about. I'm excited about a couple as well. And then again, you got just some of the and then you got some of the elite guys. So yeah, I'm excited to give my analysis. Certain guys I think really that took the next step and might be first rounders now in a draft like this, so on and so forth. So I'm excited to get going.
Yeah, and speaking about new guys, in the league, we actually got some new
We actually got
captains
some new
here for season 3. Let's take a look at that captain list, Daily. I mean, we got obviously
Yeah.
Dean Moore out there, Yan Bag, 2 veterans here in the league. But then you got a guy, Pale Poner stepping up, Agent 007, Legion, Magilla coming back here season 3. So is Cameron, aka Shock, Chaos Rider, and ACDC. So we got 10 teams again, man, coming around here season 3. What do you think about the captain list here?
Well, yeah, first and foremost, I mean, shout out to the captains, man. I mean, the way that works, this league doesn't work without the captains. There's a big premise on them, and, you get a lot of returning captains, but there's always this rotation. So, shout out to some of the guys who've done it more than once, mainly Magilla, Sober, Yambag, obviously. Shout out to those guys. I did it last year. You did it last season as well. It's a lot of work, man. It is, and real life and different things. So, shout out to all those guys, and then shout out to the new Cameron. I'm sorry, Chaos Rider. I forgot about him. He was captain last year as well. I can't forget about him. But yeah, shout out to all these guys. I think that this league or this season is really going to have a lot more parity. I'm sure you guys talked about the trades, some of the trades that have happened as well. A couple trades already. Shout out to DJ who's doing a really good job, and AC as well, keeping track on the Google Doc sheet and keeping that all together too. It looks great and it's organized, and it's so much easier for me to track trades. So shout out to those guys as well. But yeah, I love the captain list, man. I think the biggest issue that you run into with captains is we all in nature, we all value players differently. The way that Mr. Hollywood values a guy is different than the way that X Daily values a guy. So with that being said, that's how you get these discrepancies and so on and so forth as far as teams and parity and different things. But I look at this captain list and I see a lot of continuity. You see some elite, some really elite players. I mean, nobody's going to argue me that D-Mart is probably one of the best players in this league. So to see him captaining, that's always scary because you know what he can do just personally. Plus, he gets a first rounder, so that's kind of a scary thing. But then you got guys like Drift. Sober has really turned the corner as far as his game goes. Yambag, even I'm actually a Yambag supporter. I think his game has improved a lot. Pale Poner proved that he's a great D-man last year, and I can go on and on. AC is a great forward as well. So I think that the captains themselves are really great players. Cameron took a big step last year too, but the captains are really good players. So I think that that's going to translate to the teams. So that's why I think the parity is going to be a lot better this season than last.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being a solid captain does help, man. You mentioned D Mart coming back as captain. He's got 2 cups already as captain. So, great to see that. Drift King, you mentioned last season. I mean, I don't know if you read his post. I mean, he came on the forums and he's been in party chats talking about he went too early last season. Well, now he's as captain. And, he was a goaltender. But word through the grapevine, though, I think he's playing forward this season, if I'm correct. But he has that option, though. If he wants to play net, he could. And that's the advantage of being a captain too. And the new guys, Agent, Pale Poner on there. Yambag and Magilla. I mean, they might not be the best, but these guys definitely know what they're doing out there. So let's that's that captain list. They actually had the draft order already selected on there, who's going first, who's selecting second, and there's already been moves just as last season. Daly, you were involved in making a lot of moves. We see it here already, and Monday still not till like about 3 days from now. So
yeah, man, a lot can happen.
Could be possible other moves. Yeah, some guys wanted to move up, man, especially ILF Legion there, who's now got the number 1 overall pick, which was initially for Agent. Agent had the number 1 pick, but now Agent's got 2 number 1 picks, and Magillo's almost trying to do what you did last season. He gave up his first overall pick. You want to discuss this trade? There's 3 captain trade involved here between Legion, Magilla, and Agent.
So the biggest thing that I do, when I captain, I think people want to look at the rounds, and that's fine, but I don't think it tells the whole story. You got to be careful. So I always like to look at the pick numbers, and shout out to DJ or AC. I don't know who did this, but they have the actual pick numbers here, so I'm looking at them. So what you're looking at is, Legion picked up pick 8 and then pick 48 in that first trade with Magilla. Magilla got 15-16. The big thing about that trade, Magilla did what I did last year. It's just trying to get as many mid-round picks and have his draft done as fast as possible. I think Magilla's last pick looks like pick 33. So that means Magilla is going to have his whole team selected by pick 33. I mean, that's impressive. And that's not including the the extra rounds, the optional picks. But to have your whole team, and again, his first pick's at 15, so really he's 5 off the first round. It's not like some crazy thing where he's not picking till people got on DJ last year because DJ didn't have a pick till 17 or whatever the case may be. But again, Magilla's picking at 15. You're going to get a really good value player. I see a guy like BCO being available potentially right there at that pick. Some say that he's, a really good 2-way centerman. So you're looking at players of that caliber right at that pick. Dominator Silva, Esoteric might be around there at 15. I don't think so, but maybe.
Johnny Blaze.
So again, Johnny Blaze might be around at that pick. Valcor, yeah, those are all guys that are probably going to be around. McSwagger might be around there. You just don't really know. Cody, yeah, that's a really good name. So again, when you're looking at that, that's not a bad first round first round using quotes, but first guy to have on your team. So again, there's some value to be had. And then his last pick is 33. So he's going to have a 6-man team at pick 33. So to me, that was really impressive. Legion obviously gets the 2 first-round picks. The problem I'm seeing with that original trade is when you get to that pick 8, and again, there's guys that I could justify taking there. And here's the thing, me and Agent actually talked
Legion's
about
only
his
got
trade.
Legion's only got one you just
No,
got the
he's
first
got
overall
2
pick. No.
Right, now he does.
Yeah.
I'm segueing into that next trade.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Legion ends up flipping that 8th. What did he had? He had 6 and 7, I think.
Yes.
So he
yes.
flipped 6 and 7 for 1. Now, again, I actually don't hate what Legion did here, but I think Agent definitely won the trade. He's getting a pick at 6. He's getting a pick at 7. And then I think he's the back end. So he's picking at 20. So 6, 7, 20. He's going to have 4 guys on his team by pick 20. That's impressive. It's not a full roster. He's still going to have 5th round picks, but Legion really wanted somebody to give up 2 first-round picks. he gave up 6 and 8 for 1 and 21. He must have really, really, really wanted somebody, and that person I think he wanted is Chubbs Reborn.
Well, you look at it. I mean, the guys that were ahead of him, you had Drift King, D-Mart, AC, Shock, and Agent. You know what I mean? By the time when he picked, so. If he's going for a guy like Chubbs, I don't see Chubbs going down to number 6. If that's the case. But I'm getting other sources. Here, Giant, but Daily, I'm getting other sources here of who Legion wants. But that's a gutsy move to go to number 1.
Wait, well, hold on. Who are the sources saying? Who's number 1?
I think it's X Daily himself, man. Number 1 overall pick.
Oh, he's taking me at 1?
I think so, man. I mean, generally, guys that move off to get the first pick, they want to get a score goal like Stealth Luca D, maybe. You mentioned Chubbs Reborn, of Stratios. Even possibly some of these other dudes on here. ESO, but I don't know. I feel he's going with X Daily. I know I spoke to Agent. Agent initially had the number 1 overall pick. If he stayed at number 1, he would have took X Daily without a question, man. Because he's not, he's a new captain coming in here, and why wouldn't you take X Daily when he knows most of the draft pool on here and could help you out throughout the draft? So that was his whole logic coming in.
Yeah, I think that maybe that's more the appeal of taking me. Maybe the appeal is like, oh, this guy knows the league, so maybe I'll grab him at 1, and then he can help me draft my team. Well, I mean, again, that's I'd be happy to be the first pick. I'll play for anybody. I've been on Legion's team before, so if he went that route, obviously I'd be ready to go and ready to play. It's tough. It's really tough because now with Legion's draft, he's not picking again until 21.
Wow.
And then there's a really long lull. So he's going to have that first pick. He's going to get one of those, as we would consider elite players.
He's got to get a guy that carries the team, man. He's got someone that carries from 1 to 21. Holy shit. I mean.
It's a big jump, again, there's a ton of value in this draft. I'm sure we're going to touch on it a little bit. There's a lot of value here. So just because he picks 35, 47 and 48, or 46 and 48, you can still get really good value in those spots. So I know it sounds crazy, but it's a really deep draft. So Legion might not be completely off in doing something like this. I would personally never give up 2 first-round picks to do it. But sometimes if you know that there's a guy that you really want and he's not going to be there at 6 or 7, then it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, listen, I took the I did the trade last season. I took the first overall. I just because of the draft pool last season and the center spot especially, I felt Chubbs Reborn was probably one of if not the top guy that season. And if I didn't have first overall, there's no way I was drafting Chubbs Reborn. I wasn't going to be able to, But this season, I feel it's a lot more deep, man. Here, a lot more as far as the position wise. Legion really wants somebody, man, to make a pick like that, to give her 2 first round picks, man. Just to move up those spots. Like, was it like 4 or 5 spots up to get that? And I don't blame Agent at all taking this deal, man. I would have jumped all over it as well, man. I mean, who doesn't want 2 first round picks? And he still got his round 2 picks. He didn't lose anything on round 2. He just lost that round 3 where he had
I've never seen a trade like that in my life. And here's the thing: an agent, having the number 1 pick, you have nothing to hide, really. And he did reach out to me and ask me, "Hey, would you play for me?" and different things like that. Of course. Like I said, I'm absolutely 100% committed to playing whoever drafts me. I'm not one of those.
Is this a bigger trade than the X Daily DJ trade last season, man, or what?
Yeah, man, it is, because I've never seen somebody give 2 first rounders for a first. I mean, it was just crazy. I told the agent, I said, man, like, trades like this don't come along. I said, you can captain 500 times and never get an offer like this. I said, you get to keep your 2 first and a second. Yeah. That's unheard of. But you don't get trades like that.
By a second round pick, including the captain, he's already got 4 guys, man. That's more than half the team right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, like I said, there's so much value to be had in this draft. Here's the thing: his draft's done at 41. He's done at 41. So, he's going to have his 4 guys, and then he gets the back-to-back picks. He hammers down the rest of his roster, and he's good to go. So I think Agent did really well. I think Legion knows what he wants. I thought it was Chubbs, but now you've put maybe X Daly's going at that spot. It could be Stealth Luca, it could be Estradios. I guess to me those are the top dog guys, and I won't put them in any order, but those are the guys that you're looking at if you're going to have that number 1 pick. So again, it'll be interesting to see to see what happens. But fuck, man, I really I thought that trade was crazy. And then you got Cameron sitting there at number 2, like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Like, what's he gonna do? Like, this whole you have to follow up fucking Crazy Legion, and you don't really know what the hell's gonna happen. I mean, Legion could go out and take somebody even crazy. What if he doesn't take one of those 4? Right, I mean, he could take anybody. It's Legion. You don't know. You really don't. So again, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I'm excited for Monday because I think it's going to I'm ready to go, man. I'm already ready to go. It's crazy.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, he's unpredictable Legion on here. I'm looking forward to what his team name is going to be this season. He's always very selective and intelligent in getting the team names going. Yeah, so that's basically the trade that went down. Hey, and this thing could change by Monday. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, my sources are telling me, with this draft, you had a lot of guys trying to get in the top 4. I think the one different steal pick you'll see, D-Mart might take McFly at 4. So that's something that could happen. But I think everybody's in common consensus on who the top 4 players should and or shouldn't be. With Steve and Luca and Chubbs and myself, Marty's really closing on that. If Derek GNR was full-time and not in the Moose, he'd be a top guy. But you got to be careful. And that's the thing, captains. You got to really make sure you're reading and doing your homework and understanding what the hell's going on with these guys, because you don't want to get caught with a guy and be like, oh, yeah, hey, by the way, this is my 2nd league, so I'm not here. Good point, man.
So you got to be really careful.
Good point, man. Definitely a good point. And that's the thing that you're getting good with a guy like Chubbs Reborn, man. He's 239 hockey, man. He's on there every night for you. Same thing with Estradios, Cosmic Fade, X Daily himself, so. Who knows what's going through Legion's mind now, but
I don't know what he's gonna take, man. It's gonna be crazy to see. So
I knew an agent was on the board. I knew what he was going with, but Legion's got me thrown off the board here too, man. Let us know what you guys think, man. When you guys listen to the podcast, if you guys are listening on here, reply, man. Who do you guys think Legion will be taking here first overall? or who do you feel is worthy of the first pick there for him? Let me look at other topics. The other topic, Deli, I have here the goalie spot, man. I know the goalie spot came about. A lot of guys were talking about, like, do we have enough goalies? Was there enough to fill the 10 teams? A couple reasons why I feel that came about through the signups. There was also guys that normally do play goalie. A guy like Cracker Joe, Cujo does not have goalie at all at his spot. Same thing with Sniper. Same thing with Edge. Here's guys that's three guys that have played goalie. Have refused at this point, not even willing. But then now we got a lot of new guys coming into the league, man. So do you feel goalie is going to be a tough spot to fill or no at this point?
Well, I don't necessarily think it's a tough spot to fill, but I think people need to understand the process of filling out your sign up. I think it's important to know. Now, preferred is what you want to play. Center. I prefer center. Yeah, I know what you prefer. But if you have a willing goalie, or a willing lefty, or a position maybe that isn't, there is a good chance that you're going to end up playing that position. Now, there's exceptions to the rule. I'm looking at the signups right now. No Cause Renegade is preferred lefty. He has willing goalie. Everybody knows that No Cause is an elite lefty. No one's drafting him as a goalie. If you have to use him in a pinch, great. But nobody's drafting him as a goalie. It's just not going to happen. So again, keep that in mind. If you have willing goalie, I'm going to give you an example here of a guy, Beastly Jesus. I played with him the other night. He's a very, very good centerman. I enjoyed playing with him. He's a nice guy as well. He's got willing goalie. I could probably bet my left testicle that he's probably decent at goalie, not great, but maybe didn't understand the sign-up. Now, what if he gets drafted as a goalie? Take Drug Monkey last year. I told everybody that Drug Monkey was an elite right D. He got drafted as a goalie. Sabby didn't know any better, so he had to play goalie all year, and he had a fucking elite D-man sitting in net all year. Not that Drug was a bad goalie. He was a great goalie, but he's an elite D. Now, when you're talking about that elite, I mean, a guy who can change the game. So, again, when you fill out willing, know that you might not be playing your primary position. And again, it's nice to have that, flexibility and different things like that. But you saw Desired Customs as the perfect example. Last year, he had the D willing. He got stuck on D, and the guy's a forward. So this year, he's refused D altogether, and he'll be playing forward for somebody this year. So that's kind of an example of that. So just understanding the sign up, understanding what you're doing, and then going from there.
Cosmic Fade got goalie on here. Valcor, even you
yeah,
yourself.
But see, a guy like Fade. Yeah, but you do that, and it's like, someone want to draft me as a goalie? I mean, you might. I mean, I'm not terrible at it, but I'm not going to be a game changer at goalie. It's really hard to do that in this game. Yeah, if somebody can't make it, you got. Your part-timer, your sixth or seventh guy in your team is a D-man. Hey, Dales, can you play fucking goalie for this series? Yeah, I got it on there. I do it so that I don't handcuff my team, so that no matter what, we can make a lineup with hopefully not having to use a waiver, which was ultimately the demise of Jello Time last year, is using a waiver. So, if you can prevent that from happening, that's huge. So having those positions, but it's a double-edged sword because you might end up playing a position that you're not necessarily the greatest at. So you just got to be really careful when you do your signups.
You know what you do? You draft Marine Mike, man. Takes care of
the I know the Swiss Army knife, yeah?
Dude, that guy's on all the time, man. He's great, man. So, great guy.
Well, we know who Jim Flanagan will be petitioning to have on his team again this year, and that'll be Marine Mike.
If he's still there in the optional rounds, why not, man?
Yeah. And again, he's got full time on there, and he had a really good season last year for you guys, and I would be shocked if he didn't get drafted as a full-time player starting in somebody's lineup in a 10-team league. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I want to touch on one thing. So you got a lot of players who are super emo with the goalie position and have made the jump and refused it altogether. You said Cujo, who I was really high on last year, and I said he was going to have a great year. he got fucking shit stomped, and that was precisely because I think he just had a terrible draft, which I said in my analysis, and
Last
it's
two
whatever.
seasons,
It was
actually.
just,
Last 2 seasons were
yeah,
people were
it
rough
just
in that.
it wasn't a good draft, and then happens, and then you got Sniper, who we also consider to be one of the elites. He's no longer playing goalie this season. The biggest advice I can give to those guys, please make sure you're scouting, man. Like, these are great guys for the community. These are great guys for the game. So just make sure you're scouting so that you can get on a team. And again, they're both good at other positions. I've seen Cujo play center. I know he's a good center. I've seen Sniper play left wing. I know he's a good left wing. So just making sure that you just scout, and make sure you're getting out there because, you're doing something a little bit different this year. So just make sure you're out there and doing the right thing. And hopefully you guys end up getting drafted and get on good teams. So that's it. That's all I'll say on that.
Absolutely. You want to touch base any of the part-time players, man? There's quite a few.
Yeah, we can go over like last
part-time
year.
guys. Yeah, and I went with some
here's the
part-time
thing.
guys last season. Both of
Now,
my,
here's the thing, and
Yeah.
well, no, and it's smart. And here's the thing: if you can make it work, you make it work. People say the demise of Jello Time was that I had too many part-timers. Okay. That wasn't the demise of Jello Time. The demise of Jello Time was I was out of town in Boston and I missed 3 games. That was the demise. So if you're thinking anything other than that, then you're wrong. So the part-time guy is good if you know how to make it work. So I'm using my team last year as an example. When I had 2 part-timers, I had D-Mart and I had Valcor. So I had the flexibility. When I had D-Mart, I played right D. When it was Valcor's night to play, I played right wing, and I moved Collinelli over to right D. We had 2 legitimate lineups that were considered really good in 2-3-9. Now, again, when you take one of those variables out, that's what happens. But if you manage the part-times properly, then there is no reason that you should have any sort of issues whatsoever. I'll point a name out really quick. Chew Therapy. He's a good buddy of mine. So I know he's working a camp job. And for people who don't know what that is, he's basically he's going out of town. He's an electrician. He's going out of town to work a job. So he does 2 weeks on, 1 week off. So unfortunately, he had to change his schedule. So he's available every 3rd week. He was going to stay signed up as waiver, but he decided to do part-time. So whoever drafts him, you only have him every other 3rd week until I think he wrote the date. I think May 28th is his last day. And by then, and potentially longer. So you're taking a risk, but when the guy's there and he plays, now you got a 1st round talent. So really, we got to weigh it out. But for a 6th, 7th round pick, I don't think he makes it to waivers. I definitely think he gets drafted. Donnie Wood is another name I know you love. I love as well. John Monkey's new to the league. He's great. Hugh Laurie actually went through with it and is playing part-time. So again, there's some definite good part-time players that you can put on your team and have and work around. You don't know. I know you're really high on him as well, as am I. I'm a big fan of You Don't Know. So again, there's some really good
Stokes
talent.
is back. I haven't seen that guy.
Yeah, I know. He snuck in. He got snuck in there last minute, man. Last minute.
Joe Stowe.
And then looking at and then you got waivers. Some really good waivers this year. Blue Liner, Drug Monkey, Phoenix, Jimbo, Siegel. Again, you'd love to see those guys playing part-time, full-time, but they're not. And but still, it looks like any night you're going to need a waiver. You could get a potentially good guy to help you out. So that's nice as well.
Yeah, 2 of those waivers were on the finals of the Blondes, man. So
yeah,
and it worked out for us, man. Jimbo usually has a tough schedule, man. So that's why he only signs up part-time. But Phoenix was a guy that almost, I think, should have been a full-time last season. So I could have used them almost any night, and it worked out for us. In my draft, I went with forwards, man. I went with a powerhouse forward, and then I still needed that other defenseman. And since I had back-to-back picks, that's why I went with the part-time. So with the part-time guys you get like a True Therapy center, and then I say you get Hugh Laurie for the other night. So that works out as well.
And that's the thing. If you know how to manage it, and you really utilize the optional rounds, I don't know the part-time player. I took a part-time player with my first pick last year at 11. I don't think you're going to see that this season. I mean, Demart's the exception to the rule, in my opinion. But yeah, I took him at 11 last year, and he was worth it because when he played, he changed the game. And if you're taking a guy early first or late first, early second, it's got to be a guy that's going to change the game. And if he's not, then you know what? You should have traded down. So with that being said, I thought even Dmart at one series a week was a game changer. So I'm looking at the list. Shoot Therapy is a game changer. If he was truly once a week, I think you'd see him taken in round 2. But with that availability, you won't see him taken until round probably 5.
Hey, but
maybe
those states,
6.
Philly, on there. If somebody could get to the playoffs, I think you'll get True Therapy in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, and that's once a week. You're getting him for 4 games, and that changes the game. He's good. He's literally good at 4 positions. He's actually a good goalie as well, but he refused it. So but I think he has emergency. So I don't know how that plays in. If you had an emergency, you could throw pipes. But yeah, man. Again, looking at some of those names, Daddy Mihalik's a guy that we gave a bit of grief last year for his I'm one of the best wingers in the world thing. But he's back. He's playing part time. So yeah, no, it's good. There's some pretty good part-time players here in the draft. So we'll see how it goes, man. It's going to be interesting, that's to say the least.
What about some of these comeback players, man? Coming in here, some guys that we've known in the past, man. You got B. Roos, one of them that stands out here to me, man. He's on there. Octizzy, aka Al McGraw, man. Derek GNR actually played in the beta season, is back on here for season 3. Then you also got you can't forget this name, Superstar, score leader,
points
leader,
bring
back
that.
on here,
bring
man.
That up.
He's there. Stout Luca D, obviously, man. Thamps is on there. So a lot of guys that we've known, man, on here. And first time here that we're going to be seeing here, or have come back after a season or 2 off.
Yeah, and again, those are some pretty prominent names. I'm hoping, guys like Superstar. I know the big issue with Midnight Express was internet, so I hope that's since been corrected. I hope his internet is fixed and he's no longer having those issues. It's nice to see Bruce back, find his way back. Very good right D. On name alone, I think that he will get drafted fairly high, top 20 player for sure. So yeah, no, it's nice to see some of these guys back. Derek, Dom Silva's coming back too.
Dom Silva is full time.
Yeah, he is full time. Cat, again, when you have these dual leagues, there's a couple players playing in dual leagues. A couple players that, again, it's captains. It's important to know what's going on. You got guys and gals. Shout out to Rev. Hellcat, you got people playing 2 leagues, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's what it is. We love people who love to play hockey, but captains got to know, the precedent. Some of these full-time players are playing in other leagues, and knowing what the right value and when the right time to take that is. Take those players, it's important. You don't want to take somebody in round 1 and this isn't their primary league, even though they're signed up full time. So it's very, very, very important to make sure that you're reading the MIA and reading those notes. So that's just a little tidbit I have for all captains.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And we got to see, same thing when Chubbs came into the league. People don't know, was he the same guy or not? We'll see. We'll see. B-Ruse, Octizzy here, everything. And it's always exciting, man. See these names in the draft pool itself. I mean, I went with a guy like McSwagger, too. I didn't know if he still had it and anything, but, you roll the dice, man, sometimes. So.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And. Yeah, that's how it is, and you take some chances, and you hope it works out. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, then for next season, right? So
yeah. Definitely a lot of sleeper picks, I think, on that draft. I mean, we didn't even mention a guy like Sabby, man. Sabby's on there full time,
oh God, yeah, Sabby's a top 15 pick, yeah, for sure.
Hollywood Bob, you know what I mean? Definitely stepped up his game, I think.
Yeah.
And then I don't know a lot of these new players, Daily, man. There's a lot of new guys, new names that just completely new to the league that I haven't seen at all. I mean, I've heard some good things about some of these guys. I know they're playing in a lot of these scouting games. A lot of these captains are getting all these scouting games going, man. This week, I saw a party tonight. They had like 12 guys in the freaking party, man. So
Yeah, that's huge, and that's what you're looking for, especially with the scouting guys being active, especially the vets and the captains reaching out to these new guys and making them feel involved. And that happens a lot. You get into a new league and you go somewhere, and all of a sudden, you're new and no one's kind of helping you out. Nobody's guiding you. Nobody's taking you anywhere, so on and so forth. It can be frustrating, but it's nice to see all these captains bringing these new guys in and giving them a chance. I know, shout out to Legion, because Legion's been great with it. He's really, taken anytime somebody new signs up, he's like, hey, we're scouting, and Legion's Legion, but that's big, and then you have some captains who don't do any scouting, aka sober, waits for Daly to send him a detailed list of who he should draft, and he drafts those players. But with that being said, and I saw you join the party sober, so that's why I said that. But with that being said, again, it's it's nice to have captains who are doing that. It's nice to have these new guys actually taking an interest and not being like, oh, I'm the best fucking player in the world. I don't need to scout. I'm the 15th best center. Draft me because I have AIDS, etc. So it's nice to see everybody taking the initiative.
But then there's captains that pick them, man. Guys. There's captains that actually.
Yeah, Yambag. Yambag's his saying was, well, every year there's that one ringer, and I always miss out on him. Oh, I said, man. So you're going to draft the guy whose name is Anal and tells you he's the best at what he does. And he wonders why he lost 13 games to end the season. So we'll just leave it at that and be done with it.
I'm curious to see who he drafts, man. He's down there number 9 in the draft. He always gets to the late picks there in the draft.
It just always seems to work out that way.
Yeah, Magilla does a lot of those kind of games as well, man. So if you're a new player coming in, definitely message these guys, man. X-Stilly season draft this Monday night, man. It's going to be happening. We're going to have the live hangout show as always, man. I made a post over there at 239hockey.net. Got a couple of good replies. Joe stole one of them. He actually made his own mock draft. So what I wanted to do on here, X-Stilly, how about we do our mock draft here? We have the draft order on here already selected. We'll do it with the modified, the updated rotation right now. Currently, that's on here. So as we spoke, Legion, the first overall pick. You mentioned, Chubbs Reborn. I'm inputting X-Stilly himself. Let's go on to number 2, man. Number 2, Cameron.
Oh, wait, is that what we're doing? I went number 1. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm saying you're number 1.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
You're saying Chubbs. So, you're saying Chubbs, right?
I'm saying Chubbs, but you're gonna say Legion, or you're gonna say me. So that's fine. Cameron at 2. He's a centerman by trade. He's not taking Chubbs. Steve makes the most sense here, so I'd have Steve at number 2.
You know what?
To Cameron.
Two minds think alike. I also like Estradios going here. You know what I mean? With Cameron being able to play either the center spot or moving to the wing. Both Estradios are good on either wing, man, left or right on there. I actually had the Estradios written down on here as well for myself, man. It's crazy.
And again, it's just you got to look at the positions and the different things, and Shock being a centerman, I think it makes sense to have Steve on that team because he's the best winger, in my opinion, available. So cool, we agree on that. So who's next?
Next is ACDC. He did some captaining support last season. This time he's the actual captain here, making the draft. He'll be doing the picks. I initially was thinking a guy like Chubbs here, but with that whole novel pose, AC is one of those guys that does not want to deal with drama or any of that. I'm thinking a guy like Stealth Luca here, man. Stealth Luca, very down to the earth, man. Great offensive machine, and I think Stealth Luca's still on that draft board here. I think AC picks him up here. What do you think?
I am 100% on board with you. We're going to go 2 in a row on that. I couldn't agree more. I think he takes Stealth Luca here. I think it makes the most sense to take him here. And again, for the same reason, personality based, everything like that. I think they're a good fit. So I see Luka going to AC here. It allows AC to stay on his right wing. He doesn't have to do any switching. I know he plays left wing as well, but he gets to stay at center and he starts to really build that offense. So Stealth Luka looks good there.
Okay. Up next is Danny Boy D Moore. See, I think if there's a really solid guy like yourself, X Daily, Stealth Luca, or Chubb somehow manages to still be here at number 4, I think D Moore picks them up. The way we've been announcing the picks here so far, those guys are gone. So I think D Moore goes with Marty McFly. The Bash Brothers here selects him at number 4. What do you think, Dilly?
Yeah, I think it's a long time coming. I think Chubbs will be available at 4 here, and that's going to be a tough decision for D-Mart. Does he take his brother and get to play a full season with him, or does he go with Chubbs? I think Chubbs is the better centerman. No offense, Marty. I love you, but I think Chubbs is the better play. But I think Dan will ultimately take him here. Again, if I'm available at this spot, I think it makes the most sense. Dan and I have been playing hockey together for pretty much ever. So that could be an option as well, but we'll go based off yours. So, you got me at 1. So we'll stay there. I think I'm going to go Marty McFly here. I think Marty McFly goes to Dan as well. We're 3 for 4 on agreeing.
Damn. See, and D Moore, D Moore's one of those guys that he always gets a good pick, man, in these freaking drafts. He doesn't have to make any moves. He's always up there. I mean, no, season 1 he had that. Season 1 he also could have took a guy like no, I think Marty was captain that season, but he went with a guy like NJ Ski. But I think if it is out there, it's gonna be a tough pick there for D Moore, but.
It's a long time coming, man.
This is a season that he wants to have Morty on there. He definitely has it here. I mean, he's at number 4, and there's no question McFly will be on that draft board.
Yep, and it's his to take. So,
So next, a very controversial captain here, Drift King. Time to get Steven. I'll let you go first here, Daly. Who do you think goes here for?
Well, here's the thing. So based on what, I'm going to go based on yours. I think Chubbs makes the most sense here if we play it out how it has so far. Again, sticking with those top 5 guys, Marty sliding in there, I think Chubbs makes the most sense. Now, you said that Drift is potentially playing forward, which seems to make sense. Okay, that's fine. If that's the case, it's a really good starting point. If he's looking to play a cycle game, which in his post he made very clear that he is, Chubbs is the guy to do it because Chubbs loves to play that sort of game as well. So I got Chubbs reborn here. What do you think?
See, I know Drift is definitely going to want Stealth Luca here at this pick, but I don't think Stealth Luca will be available. If he is, I think it'll be a miracle, which will change things up here for Drift. I'm going with a pick off the wall here, man. What do you think? I think Time to get Steven shocks everybody here and goes with my man McSwagger at number 5, man.
Okay. We will.
Hey, here's the thing. Time to get Steven play center spot or right wing, man. And same thing with Swagger. He's able to rotate between those. And if not, Time to get Steven could also step in net, man. So, and here's a guy that he always signs up late to the draft, and he could change that any time, man. Whatever it takes to win, man, for Drift King. He made that post. He made it specifically, man. He's competitive. He wants to win, man. And if he does here, I think it'll be a solid pick for Drift King, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense. So, I don't think McSwagger there makes sense for me personally, but I understand where your mind's at. Guy led the league in points last year. Or was up there in points. I don't know if he actually ended up leading the league, but again,
sober.
Tough to say. Sober was number 1. That's right. I forgot, but yeah, no. I mean, again, I wouldn't be shocked to see McSwagger, but I think with Chubbs being there, I think he is. I think he is the play. So I'll say Chubbs. You got McSwagger there. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't think McSwagger is going in the middle first round.
Unless somehow, I mean, if Stratios could still might be on the board, man. If should Chubbs go earlier? Start Luca on there. If Marty McFly gets and a pickup by Dean Moore, what if Stratios is on that board, man? I think Drift might jump over that as well, man.
Yeah, and again, I think at 5 you're taking the best player available. So if it's Steve, you're taking it. I mean, you're not really overthinking it too much because I think those top 5 guys with the mindset that D-Mart's taking Marty, those 4 guys, I think it's pretty no-brainer. I think you're happy to get any one of those guys. Luca, Stratios, Chubbs, myself. I think you're okay building a team with those guys. So yeah, I think that if Stratios is there at 5, you take him. He's the best available. So that would be my mindset.
Here's a tough one, man. First time captain Agen 07 gave up his number 1 pick. He's after Drift King, man. On here. Who does he go, man? I mean, if a lot of these guys are gone, I mean, I'm looking either Cosmic Fade at this point, maybe. Maybe even this guy's Superstar, man. Led the league, the beta season, man. Coming back here, why not, man? What do you think?
I'm going a different route here. I think that Agent having 2 picks in the first round, he needs to go forward D or D forward, and I think right here, the best player available on this board is going to be No Cause Renegade, the D man for you last year. He's a shutdown D. He's a stay-at-home D. There's a lot of good right wingers in this league. I watched him not just give myself problems, but Daniel Martin problems as well. To me, this is not a stretch taking No Cause here. You work around his Sundays. You refuse Sundays because he's your best player. So I see No Cause going here at 6. If you go the forward route, Cosmic Fade makes sense. Grabbing a guy also like Sabby. Sabby's a pure goal scorer. Grabbing him makes sense there. As well.
What about Esol, man?
And I was just going to get to there as well. An Esoteric, a guy that, or it's Esso, I'm sorry, he gets so mad at me, Army of the Pharaohs, but Esoteric at 6 makes sense too. I used him at left wing last year, but he's actually a really solid centerman as well. He plays a really good 2-way game. So, taking him at 6, he won't be around much longer. He won't fall past pick 9, in my opinion. So, that's a nice place to grab him as well. There is at 6.
I like your idea with No Cause, man. I think about it on here. If Agent does go the defensive round, I mean, he's got a chance here taking No Cause Renegade and possibly even Derek GNR because he picks after Sober the next time. Imagine that, having No Cause and Derek on the defense.
Yeah, the problem with Derek is you got to look at that pesky MIA, man. He's got another league that's going to be the precedent. That's going to be his main. So, in any other, Derek GNR would be a top 3 pick in my humble opinion if this was his primary. But he's made it clear that this is not his primary, so he will not be a top 3 pick in my opinion. 3rd rounder for sure, 2nd rounder maybe. But yeah, no, I can't take him there just because that Rev Hellcat's another one. She's mid-2nd round pick, will probably fall to round 3 just because again there's this precedent. So just looking alive for stuff like that. But I think Esoteric, who does say Savvy, No Cause Renegade, all pretty good here at pick 6.
Okay, moving along here, Sober Enough here at number 7, Lucky 7 here, returning champ from season number 2. I'm looking at the board here. I don't see many Thundercats on here, but one guy is, man, and that's Dominator Silva. And it's a guy that's Sober played with last season. Now he's a full-time player. I think he goes with Silva here. What do you think, Daly?
No, I can't because again, looking at that pesky MIA, this isn't Dominator Silva's main. This isn't his primary.
But Sober loves the drama.
I know, but you can't risk pick 6, Yambag. for the drama. You can't do it at pick 7 and taking a chance and all that. It's too tough. So here, honestly, Esoteric makes the most sense at 7. No Cause at 6, Esoteric at 7, and you move Esoteric to center. You got a really nice build with Esoteric and Sober. So that's where I got Eso right there.
Nice. Okay, and that brings us again back to Agent here. Again, number 8, crazy 6 and 8 here for him. Here's
Now,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So, in talking with Agent, previously, and just kind of picking his brain and seeing where he was at, he told me he prefers center. So I'm making these picks with that in mind. So again, I know I've said the name already, but Sabby makes sense here for him, a guy who's a pure goal scorer. If Agent decides to move to right wing and that he's going to play right wing, if he wants to get a guy like BCO, I don't think you're really stretching. You might be stretching a little bit. I said BCO. I didn't feel like BCO made that jump last year into that next tier. Again, he was on Chubbies and they struggled. But I don't, he's there. He's close. So maybe taking BCO at 8 here. Again, he's got to be the guy then. He's got to be that guy. But now you have No Cause. Now you have BCO. Now you have Agent. Now you have something. And remember, Agent's team is going to be completely drafted by like pick 41. So you're going to have a really solid squad. So I think a guy maybe like BCO makes a lot of sense right there. So I would not be shocked. What do you think?
I like that pick, man. I like that pick, man. That's crazy. At number 8, he's already got half the team, man. You include himself in there. Me personally, I had to pick here. Like I said, if he's gonna go with the all-out offense right off the back, man. If he's gonna be playing the center spot, like I mentioned, Superstar would be a solid pick at 6. And then what about this guy, Deli Desired Customs, man? He's a winger on there, right wing. And that could take care of both wings right there. But if not, like I say, if he goes the defensive route, I like No Cause, I like Derek Ginar, and maybe even Beerus.
Yeah, I was going to get to Beerus because I think Beerus is the
but how well does Agent know these guys? For us, maybe.
And that's the problem.
We're talking No Cause, Derek Ginar, but he might just go. I know he's doing a lot of scouting games himself as well. And based on season number 2, it's tough, man. It's tough to know. Hey, he might even pick up Mr. Hollywood over here. That's who brought him in the league.
Well, I was going to bring that up for Pale. I feel like you're not going to make it out of the first round. So I think you're going to be pick 10. I know Yambag won't take a goalie at 9, but I think that you'll be there at pick 10. And I think that Pale might snag you up because I'm looking at the goalies, and to me, and this isn't to blow you because we're on the air together, but you're the best available goalie in the draft. No offense to Thug, no offense to any of these other guys. But I think, even Lemieux, no offense to Lemieux, man. But I personally think Mr. High was the game changer, man. He plays all these big games, and that's where I'm at, So, I could see it going that way as well. And to touch on Yambag's pick, I think Yambag is probably... Goddamn, Cosmic Fade, Cody. I could see him taking either of those guys at 9. And for some reason, he won't take Superstar. But yeah, I could see him taking one of those guys. I don't think he's going to take a goalie at those picks.
You think Yambag
wants to play left wing this year?
You think Yambag will pick somebody like a McSwagger?
No, I don't. But I could see him taking Beerus because he wants to play left wing. But if he's going to play left wing, he needs to put some players around him. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if he's going to get those players at 9.
Yeah, at this
point, we'll see what happens.
It's tough to say. I mean, you don't know. I mean, there could be a captain pull off something like a Thug CTC or Hi, my name is Ed gets early, and maybe one of those guys that we mentioned is still available here for Yambag. He generally does a decent job on the drafts here, especially where he's placed on the draft. He doesn't move much or discusses much trades on the position that he's in the draft. But Cody,
Yeah.
Cody, I mean, he's played. I mean,
They
he
have
had that,
they have
he had
that
that season
history.
one.
They have that
Yeah.
history.
So that
But here's
kind
the
of.
thing: I told you, Yambag wants to play left wing, so it's going to be tough to see what he's going to do because
So
I
he,
think
he won't take a guy like Joe Stoll.
Nah, not round one. I just don't see it. Joe Stowe has come a long way though. I could see him. I could see Yambag taking BCO if he's there. You know, I think people really want to lock down that center spot because I think we all hate losing faceoffs like more than anything. You know, so
Well, VCO was
Could
great
he
for us
take it there?
beta season, man. That beta
yeah,
season,
he wins a
you
lot
know,
of
so
face-offs, So yeah, that's
that
pretty
makes
much the first
sense.
round, man. I think it's you know, again, you know who the three OGs are as far as the center spot goes, but you know, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I like I like our mock. I think we're pretty on with all the picks thus far.
Okay. One guy I want to mention on here. You brought up the goalie spot about Mr. Hollywood here. You know, Doug CTC. There's a new guy. I just played a couple minutes ago with Tomahawk. The Tomahawk. This guy's pretty freaking solid, man. He knows what he's doing between the pipes, man. I think it'll be a steal pick here in this draft. Actually, Pale Poner, I believe, is the guy that referred this guy. Very solid, Daly. You know, last season he had all the way, man. But this guy Tomahawk, man, fucking shuts it down, man.
You know, and that's the
Any
thing,
new
you know,
guys
shout
you
out to
have on
Pale,
here
man.
that you wanna that stand out? Talking about C Dub, man.
I guess I will.
Is it C Dub 21 or was that Yambag?
No, that's Yambag. That's not my guy. That's not one of my guys that I know.
You mentioned Moose, man. Who's
Yeah,
this
Moose.
guy,
Moose
man?
Moose is a solid D man. You know, he's pretty defensive. He's not going to give you anything crazy offensively besides the clap. You know, but I think a lot of the D men aren't. There's very rare D men. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm like the only like real offensive D man, like that'll actually carry the puck and take the zone. I mean, other guys will, but I think for the most part, you get a lot of stay at home guys, and Moose fits that category. He's stay at home D. Shouldn't, you know, it's whatever. He could play center, he could play left wing as well. But yeah, I think his calling is at D. And another guy on this list is Burks. Burks is a really good right winger. He can play a couple positions as well. But right wing's is going to be his main. He could also play left. Center, I wouldn't fuck with him too much there because face-offs is important. He's not good at face-offs. So, but yeah, you know, those are two guys that I mentioned that I thought were going to have pretty good seasons.
Nice.
So yeah, I would go with those guys.
All right, cool, man. Great. Anything else you want to bring up on the podcast, Sophia? I mean, I think we covered pretty much a very thorough analysis here prior to the draft. We'll see what happens, man. Monday night, it all goes down once again. Season 3 draft. Are we gonna see a pick like Magilla with Tuck CTC second overall pick? You know, will we see Ed go early, man? You know, it always happens every draft. There's something. There's one of those. Like, well, you know, shock picks and you know, but
well, let's hope, like I said, maybe that these guys listen to our podcast and maybe take some of our advice, and then you know, then if it plays out, then we'll look like fucking geniuses, you know, on Monday. But again, you know, the thing is that, you know, the analysis are here for that reason, and you know, that's what we're here for. So take it and do with it what you may, and go from there. So.
And I think this was great, man. This Friday Elitist show, and we could get other guests on here as well, right on the Xbox, man. By the way, you know what I mean. So you don't need a computer, laptop, iPhone. All you need an Xbox turned on with your headset, and you could join us on here on the podcast. Maybe throughout the season, that we could get some guests on here. Especially if we have a topic or something that's pertaining to that captain or that team during that time, because I think it could be a great addition on here. Maybe I could get Al McGraw, aka Octizzy. You know, we've got definitely good. You know, talk about chemistry on the ice, man. Me and Octizzy, chemistry on a podcast like this is bar to none, man. So you know. I appreciate it, man. Daly coming on here. I know late. I know you couldn't make the throwdown because of work and stuff, man. But hopefully, let us know what you guys think on here. Daly, any other final thoughts before we sign out?
No, I'm gonna go get some sleep. Well, I'm gonna watch the throwdown, and then I'm gonna get some sleep. But yeah, no, I think it's a nice little change. It's good to do the podcast. Gives us a little bit more content. It's always nice to do these things. The draft is the most exciting time of the year, and we have a lot of fun with it. So I always love doing it. I'll let everyone know too. I'm going to be doing my prediction thread as well again this year. I'm still going to do that. I enjoy doing that.
Nice.
I always enjoy doing that. Had a good run last year, so we'll try and keep that going again this year and see how we do. So. But yeah, I'll be bringing that back along with some other stuff that we always seem to have planned.
And also, what I'm also looking for every season after the draft, how well these guys drafted, man. You know, our prediction on rankings of the teams, man. Those are always great to do, man.
Yeah, no, it's always fun, and I'll do my post-draft analysis, and I'll say this team was good, this team sucked ass, and everybody will get mad at me and say that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I'm an idiot, and you know how it goes every year.
Then they try to prove you wrong. Right. So.
Yeah, I mean, Crazy Eddie Killer was the Rookie of the Year last year, right? And Cujo's team finished in first place. So, yeah, with that being said, you know, it's one of those things but it's fun. It's all in good fun, and we have a good time with it, so.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining in, man. Mr. Hollywood here, a.k.a. Jim Flanagan, along with X Daly. I'll probably see you guys the next time on here. Will be Monday night, the draft, Season 3. Good luck to the captains. Good luck to all the players in the draft there, in the draft pool. And message the captains, get in some scouting games. You still got some time, a couple days left before the draft. And we'll see you guys Monday night. Have a good night, everybody.